This is MATHguide.com. My name is Mark Karadimos, and we're going to take a look at the law of cosines today. And this one, we're going to find an angle using the law of cosines. Alright, well, let's do this. Let's start it. So the way we start this problem is, of course, label our angles. So I'm going to label the angles A, bottom right, B, left, and then our top right is C. So once we have the angles labeled, then we also know what the sides are. Now the sides are labeled with the opposite angle. So in other words, if this is angle A, then opposite it would be side A. So if this is angle B, opposite it would be side B. And likewise angle C, so this is side C. Alright, well, you know, this is a problem that we cannot use SOHCAHTOA on, or any kind of right triangle trig, because I don't even know if I have a right triangle here. I could try and see if these are sides that would fit in the Pythagorean theorem, but I don't have to. I can't use the law of sines because I don't have an angle. Law of sines requires an angle. So the only formula that we have to work with is the law of cosines, as you'll see in a second. So I'm going to pull up a formula, and we're going to grab the formula that is going to allow us to solve for angle C. Okay, here it is. So there are three law of cosine formulas. Now I'm grabbing this particular one because it is the only formula that has angle C in it. So if I'm deciding to solve for angle C, it's the only formula that has big C in it. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to throw in all the sides accordingly. So in other words, let's see, C squared, so that would be 50 squared. Let's see, A, that would be 44, so 44 squared. B is 29, so it's 29 squared. So it's 2 times A times B times the cosine of C. Alright, so using a standard calculator, I square the 50, I'm going to get 2,500. I'm going to put this into a calculator next, and let's see, I get 2,777 minus, and next I'm going to multiply these numbers together again with a standard calculator, and I get 2552 cosine of C. Alright, now I have to give a word of caution that there are some students who try to combine these, but you cannot, because this is an entire term. This negative 250, that's actually 2552 cosine C. This is all one term, and it's an unlike term. In other words, I cannot combine it with this. It's just, they're unlike terms, you can't combine them. So the only thing we have at our disposal is to use some algebra. So from this point forward, we use algebra. So I'm going to subtract the 2777. So subtract 2777 from both sides. Okay, in doing so, I am going to get negative 277. And I'm going to get it. And then this is going to, so this is cancels, so I'm left with the minus 2552 cosine of C. Alright, now to cancel this, right, I got to get rid of this since it's being multiplied by the cosine of C. I divide both sides by the negative 2552. Alright, so I divide, and let's see, what am I going to get? I'm going to get the, just going to move it over, shift it over here a little bit to the left, but I'm going to get cosine of C because these guys cancel. And I'm going to get a decimal number, but I'm not even going to mess with it. I'm going to leave it 277 over minus 2552. Alright, so how do you get rid of cosine? Well, the only way to get rid of cosine is to do the inverse cosine. So it turns out that C is the inverse cosine of this fraction. Okay, so I'm just taking the inverse cosine of both sides. Alright, now in doing that, it looks like the calculator gives me an answer, and the calculator gives me 83.8 degrees rounded to the nearest tenth. Okay, so that's what I get. So I'm going to get that, and that's what angle C is right here. Okay, once I get this angle C, of course, I could now use the law of sines to find angle A or angle B, and I could use that. So check out our other video on using the law of sines, and that will help you pick up from there. Okay, so make sure you go to MATHguide.com. Check out our other interactive quizzes, our instructional videos, and our lessons. Take care. Bye-bye.